Beatrice, I learned from this messenger that Don Pedro of Aragon, our noble captain and prince of football, and his team return this night to Messina.
They are very near by this and have won their tournament.
I hear that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio, sometimes called the Count.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro, he hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figures of a lamb the feats of a lion.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the tournament, or no?
I know none of that name, lady. My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
But I pray you, how many men hath he killed and eaten in these tournaments? But how many hath he killed? For indeed, I promise to eat all of his killings.
None?
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much.
He hath played well, lady, in these games.
You had much food, and he hath helped to eat it. He's a very valiant trencherman, and he hath an excellent stomach.
And a good player too, lady.
And a good player to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is a stuffed man. But as for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, ma'am, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by this. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed by 1. But who is his new sworn companion? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your book.
No, and were he, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his new sworn companion? Is there no young squarer now that'll make a voyage to the novel with him?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, God help the noble Claudio. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the infected one runs presently mad. If Claudio hath caught the Benedict, it will cost him 1,000 pounds ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friends.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached!
Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Messina, the leaders and the best. Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Messina, the champions of the West.
Good President Leonata, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort shall remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Her father hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, ma'am, that you asked him?
Now, Benedict, truly the lady mother's herself. Be happy, lady, for you look just like your honorable mother.
If Leonata be her mother, Hero would not have her head and her shoulders for all Messina, as like her as she is.
I wonder that you still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die when it has such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Why, courtesy itself must convert to disdain when it comes into your presence.
Well, then is courtesy a turncoat? But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
I a dear happiness to women, else they should be troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood that I am of your nature for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep that ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other may escape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching couldn't make it worse, were it a face as yours.
Well, you are a rare parrot, teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue. God keep it your way. I am done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
Bowling team, bowling team, bowling team, bowling team. Guess who just got third place at the state bowling tournament?
That's right, everybody give it up for Don John and the Messina bowling team.
Yeah.
My lord, let me bid you welcome. Oh. Here we also have the prince, your brother, and his victorious football team. Woo!
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, your grace, lead on.
We will go together.
Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Messina, the leaders.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of President Leonata?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me, as an honest man should do, for his simple-true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith? Methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she no other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other than she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yeah, and a case to put it into.
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see it without spectacles and see no such matter. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I sworn on the contrary. If Hero would be my wife.
Is't come to this? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to in faith, thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro has returned to seek you.
What secret hath held ye here that you found not to Leonata's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Count Claudio, I can be secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so. Mark you, on my allegiance, on my allegiance. He is in love. With who? Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonata's short daughter.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me inside, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and truths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel she should know how she is loved, nor know how she is worthy, is the opinion fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her my most humble thanks. But that I shall remain unmarried, all women shall pardon me. I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, and I will do myself the right to mistrust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them on my forehead, and let me be vilely painted in such letters as to write, here is a good horse to hire, and let them signify under the sign, here is Benedict, the married man.
Moo! In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonata's. Commend me to her, and tell her I not fail her at supper, for she hath made great preparation.
I almost have matter enough in me for such an embassage. And so I commit you, my
To the
maiden.
tuition of God from my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict!
Weirdos!
Hath Leonata any son, my lord?
No, no child but Hero. She's her only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when he went onward on this tournament, I looked upon her with an athlete's eye that liked, but had a rougher task at hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now, since I'm returned, and since football thoughts have left their places vacant, in their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is. Saying I liked her, ere I went away.
If you love her, cherish it, and with her and with her mother will I talk, and thou shalt have her.
How sweetly you do minister to love! But, lest my liking seem too sudden, I would have lengthened it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? I know we shall have reveling tonight, and I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong counter of my tale of love. Then after, to her mother will I talk, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
My lord, why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that causes it. Therefore, the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I've heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a pleasant remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach and wait on no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry and flatter no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make a full show of this. You have of late set out against your brother the prince. He has taken you newly into his grace, for it is impossible that you take true root except for the fair weather that you created yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I'd rather be a thorn in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better fits my blood to be disdained by all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. Though it cannot be said that I'm a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied that I'm a plain-dealing villain. I'm trusted with a muzzle, therefore I've decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I can make all use for it, for I use it only.
Heyo.
Who comes here? Braccio.
Hey, Braccio.
What news, Braccio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonata, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? Was he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And two, which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonata.
A very forward march chick. How came you to this?
In the hall, I happened upon the prince and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the curtains, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. If I can cross those football players in any way, I will bless myself in every way. You two are both sure and will help me?
To the death, my lord.
Okay, take it down a few notches, Conrad. Come, let us to this great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Don John here at supper?
I saw him not.
Oh, how tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I'm heartburned an hour afterwards.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made in the middle of him and Signor Benedict. The one is too much like an image and says nothing, but the other is too much like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half a Signor Benedict's tongue in Don John's mouth, and half a Don John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot and money enough in his purse, why, such a man could win any woman in the world if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou will never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed, too quarrelsome.
God will send me no husband, for which blessing I am at him upon my knees morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard upon his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may let a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him then? Dress him in my apparel and make him my lady in waiting? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, but he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me. And he that's more than a man, well, I am not for him.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your mother.
Faith, yes, it is my cousin's duty to make courtesy and say, Mother, as it please you. But for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another courtesy and say, Mother, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not until God makes man of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be mastered by a piece of valiant dust?
Well, daughter, remember what I have told you. If the prince do solicit you for your hand, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, just tell him there's measure in everything, and so dance out your answer.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, aunt. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering. Come, sister, make it room.
All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Now put your hands up in the club. You just broke up. I'm doing my own little thing. You decided to dip, and now you want to trip. 'Cause another brother noticed me. I'm up on him, he up on me. Don't pay him any attention. Just crying my tears, get 3 good years. You can't be mad at me. 'Cause if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly, look sweetly, and say nothing. I'm yours for the walk, especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so?
Why, when I like your face. For God forbid the lute should be like the case.
My visor is Philemon's roof. Within the house is Jove.
Why then, your visor should be thatched.
Speak low if you speak low.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go.
Well, I wish you liked me.
So when I, for your own sake, for I have many of qualities.
Which is one.
I say my prayers aloud. I love you the better than heroes may cry. Amen. God match me with a good dancer. Amen. And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Enter court.
I know we aren't perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one. And I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone. Guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. 'Cause you said forever, now I drive alone past your street.
I know you well enough. You're Professor Antonia.
At a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I mimic her.
You could never do her so ill well unless you were the very woman. Ah, here's her dry hands up and down. You are she. You are she.
At a word, I am not.
Come, come. Do you think I not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to, mum. You are she. For graces will appear, and there's an end.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, 'cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy. Young man, there's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to
Will you not tell me who told you so?
Not now.
Nor will you tell me who you are?
No.
I was disdainful. And then I got my wit from the book of 100 Merry Tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict who told you so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him.
Not, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wits, but it is villainy, for he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he's in the fleet. I would that he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two upon me, which pre-adventure not marked or laughed at, sends him into a melancholy, and then there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool eats no supper that night. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I shall leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother's in love with Hero and hath withdrawn with her mother to talk with her about it. The ladies follow her, but one mask remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedict? Are you not Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal to him. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
Why, I heard him confess his love.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
All right. Hey, great job, kids.
Thus answer I, in the name of Benedict, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so the prince woos for himself Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and the affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accent of hourly proof which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Claudio?
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow tree about your business. Count, what fashion shall you wear the wedding garland of? Around your neck like a usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wished him joy of her.
Him? Do you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and now you beat the post.
If it will not be, I will leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl, now will he creep into suches. But that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me, the prince's fool. Ha! It may be I go under that name because I am merry. Yea, I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the whole world into her person, and so gives me out to be a fool. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Senor, have you seen the Count? Do you know where he is?
I found him here as melancholy as a lodge on a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace got the goodwill of his young lady. I offered him company to a willow tree, either to fashion him a garland as worthy of being forsaken, or a rod as worthy of being whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it to his friend, and he steals it.
What are you talking about?
Yet it had not been amiss. The rod had been made too. For the garland he would have worn himself, and the rod he would have bestowed on you, who, I take it, has stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my truth you speak honestly.
The lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman who danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking that I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me, that I stood like a man at a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks daggers, and every word stabs. Ow. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there would be no living near her. She would advance to the North Star. A man may live in peacefully in hell as in sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose, because they'd rather go thither. And so all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
My lord, will you command me any service to the world's end? I'll go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes you can devise to send me on. I'll fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia, the length of Prester John's foot, hair off the great Cham's beard. Do you any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy? You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh God, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it to me a while ago, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before, he won it of me with false dice. Therefore, your grace may well say I have lost it. But here is Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad nor sick. nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your words to be true. Though I'll be sworn, if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have talked with her mother, and her goodwill obtained. Name the day of your marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give myself away to you and dote upon the exchange. Hero, will you marry me?
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss.
Oh, yes, of course, Claudio, I will marry you.
Oh, hero.
Congratulations.
You're getting married. Wedding. Oh my gosh, we just had a wedding. I'm your maid of honor. Yeah?
Oh,
yeah?
welcome to the family.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. But look, my cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so I do, cousin.
Thank God for alliances. Thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry hey-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I'd rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got good husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord. Not unless I could have another for working days, for your grace is far too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your pardon. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you. For out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
Not so, my lord, for my mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I beg your forgiveness, aunt. By your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She's never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For she hath often dreamed of unhappiness, and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were a good wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord. If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence just a few nights and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake your head at so long a wait. But I warrant you the time will not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into amounts of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am with you, though it'll cost me 10 nights' washings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband. Thus far can I praise him. He is of noble strain, of approved valor, and confirmed honesty. I will teach you to humor your cousin. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that in despite of his quick wit and queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer the archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Love gods on 3. 1, 2, 3. Love gods! Go in with me and I'll tell you my drift.
Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonata.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure with them, and anything that comes between their affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, friend to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at Hero's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince, your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to an unfaithful, stale such a one as Hero.
But what proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and kill Leonata. Look you for any other issue?
Only to spite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal into both the prince and Claudio, as in love of your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is less likely to be cozened in the semblance of a maid that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window, hear me call Margaret Hero, hear Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that Hero will be absent, and there will appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can, and I will put it into practice. Be cunning in the working of this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I shall go presently learn their day of marriage.
Hey, you, freshman.
Signor.
In my dorm room window lies a book. Bring it hither to me.
I am already here, sir.
I know that, but I would have thee here and hence again. I do much wonder that one man, after seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates himself to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I remember when there was no music in him but the school fight song, and now he had rather hear wedding chimes. He was to speak wont and plain to the purpose, like an honest man and an athlete, and now he has turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet. So many strange dishes. May I be converted to see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. But I will not be sworn. Love may transform me to an oyster. By my oath, till love hath made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But to all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wiser I'll none. Fair or not look on her. Mild or not come near her. Noble or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of whatever color it please God. Ha, look, Monsieur Love and the Prince. I will harden the arbors.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See where Benedict hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord. But let us wait for the music to be ended.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, good, my lord. Tax not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
Now, pray thee come, or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There is not a note of mine that's worth noting.
Please, Balthazar, come.
Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. One foot in sea and one on shore. To one thing constant never. Sigh not so, and let them go, and be a brave and bonny, and sing all your songs of woe into the naughty naughty. Sing no more ditties, sing no more, for I'm so dull and heavy. The fraud of man was ever so, since I first was levy. And sigh not so, and let them go, and be a brave and bonny, and sing all your songs of woe into a naughty naughty.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
No, no. Faith, thou singest well. I pray thee, get us some excellent music, for tomorrow we would have at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonata. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Senor Benedict?
What? Oh, I stalk on, the fowl sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behaviors seem ever to abhor.
Is't possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
May she be doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit? There was never counterfeit of passion that came to near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion does she show?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit. You heard my daughter tell you how?
Indeed. She writes songs, sings poetry.
Some sonnets and some... Did you hear anything?
What? No.
Okay.
No.
You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn I had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
This can be no gull, but that the white-haired lady speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide itself in such reverent old age.
He hath taken the infection! Hold it up!
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and she swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. So your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now as she's beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there she'll sit in her smock till she have read a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all. Oh, and then she'll tear the letter into 1,000 pieces, railing at herself that she should write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, but I would flout him if he wrote to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart but tears her hair. Praise curses!
Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience! She doth indeed. My daughter says so. And the ecstasy has so reborn her that my daughter is sometimes afeared she will do a desperate outrage to herself.
It were good that Benedict knew of some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would but make a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
If he should, it were a good deed to hang him. For she is an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
She is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict.
Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body. We have 10 proofs to 1 that blood have the victory. I am sorry for her, as I have just cause, being her aunt and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have baffled all respects, married her, and made her half myself. I pray you, tell Benedict of it and hear what he will say.
We're good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die if he woo her, and she will die if she make her love known, than to leave one breath of her accustomed crossness out.
It were good that she should make tender of her love. 'Tis very possible to scorn it, for the man, as you know, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God, and in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Should we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we'll hear further of it by your daughter. I would wish that Benedict would modestly examine himself to see how much unworthy he is so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I shall never trust my expectation.
Let the same net be spread for her that your daughter and her friend must carry. In the meantime, let us send her to fetch him into dinner.
This can be no trick. They have the truth of it from Hero. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censored and bear myself proudly. They say if I perceive the love come from her, she would rather die than show any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that put their detractions to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth, and virtuous. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it, and wise, but for loving me. Why, it is no great addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, that I am horribly in love with her. I may on chance have a few odd quirks and remnants of wit broken in me, because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth he cannot endure in his old age. Shall these quips and paper bullets and sentences of the brain awe a man away from the path of true love? No, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I would live long enough to be married. Here comes Beatrice. By my marks, she is a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, senor, I am sent to bid thee come in to dinner.
Lady Beatrice, I thank thee for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Oh, yea, senor, about so much pleasure as you may take upon a knife's point. You have no stomach, senor. Fare thee well.
Against my will, I'm come to bid you in to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for these thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much to say, any pains I take for you are as easy as thanks. Why, if I do not love her and pity her, I am a villain. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the lobby. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the Prince and Claudio. Whisper in her ear and tell her I and Ursula are in our dorm and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardest, and bid her steal in and hide herself to listen to our purpose. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it and leave us alone.
I will make her come, I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close by the ground to hear our conference.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish, cut with her golden oars the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as the falcons of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedick love Beatrice? What? So entirely?
So says the prince and my new trust lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madame?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them that if they love Benedick, to wish him to wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full a fortunate a marriage as Beatrice should give him?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man. But nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. She is too disdainful, disdain and scorn right sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matters else seem weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape, nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore certainly it were not good she knew of his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured. But she would spell him backwards, so turned she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice's cannot be commendable. But who to tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me in terror, laugh me out of myself, burst me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is bad as death as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she'll have to say.
No, rather, I will go to Benedick, counsel him to fight against his passions. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may poison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy. Oh, always accepted, my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madame, speaking my fancy, Signor Benedick. For shape, forbearing, argument, and valor, go foremost in report throughout Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did err it ere he had it. When are you married, madame?
Oh, why, every day, tomorrow. Come, I'll have thy counsel, which is best to furnish me tomorrow.
She is trapped, I warrant you. We have caught her.
If it proves so, loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, and some with traps.
What fire is in my ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Oh, contempt, farewell, and maiden pride adieu. There is no glory behind the back of such as these. And Benedick. Love on, I shall requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. For if thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in the holy band of marriage. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate. Then go I home to Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that is be as great a soy in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat, but forbid him to wear it. I will be bold with Benedict, however, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He hath twice, or thrice, cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He hath a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue is a clapper. For what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So says I, methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched by love. If he is sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
What? Sigh for a toothache?
Well, everyone can master a bit of grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love.
Indeed. Notice how he has rubbed himself with new cologne. Can you smell him out by it? Conclude. He is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
Yet there is no charm for the toothache. Benedict, out.
Hero and Margaret have by now played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it pleases you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I speak of concerns him.
Why? What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
Come on, you know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and ain't better on me, by that I now shall tell you. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath helped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suits ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has long been a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she. Leonata's hero. Your hero. Every man's hero.
How dare you call her disloyal?
The word is too good to paint our wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think of you a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warned, but come with me tonight, and I shall show you her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, wed her tomorrow, but it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I would not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. But if you go with me tonight, I will show you enough. And once you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation, where I should wed, then there will I shame her.
And as I have wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther until you are both my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
O day untowardly turned!
O mischief strangely thwarting!
O plague right well prevented! Or so you'll say once you have seen the sequel.
Are you good men and true? Yea, or else it were pity they should suffer salvation. But
body and soul. Nay, that were a punishment too good for them. Should they have any allegiance in them, being chosen as student campus safety officers?
Well, give them their charge, Director Dogberry.
Thank you, Assistant Director Burgess. First, officers, who think you to be the most desertless man to be your leader?
You, okay, sir, or Georgia Sequel, for they can write and read.
And you can't? Freshmen these days, I tell ya.
That will do, Master Burgess. Come hither, neighbor Sequel. You are thought here to be the most fit and senseless man to be the leader of the watch. Therefore, bear you the radio. This will be your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in President Lanata's name.
How if they will not stand?
Why then, take no note of them, but let them go. Then presently call the rest of your watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the president's students.
True, they are to meddle with none but the president's students. You are also to make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and will not be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know it belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Well, you are to call at all alehouses, bid those that are drunk, get them to bed.
How if he will not?
Why then, wait until they are sober. If they make you not then the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle and make with them, why the more is for your honesty.
If we know them to be thieves, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly by your office you may. But I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him prove himself a thief and steal out of your company.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you're to call the nurse and bid her to still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and does not hear us?
Why then, depart in peace, and let the child wake her with crying. Now, this is the end of the charge. You represent the president's own person. If you meet the president in the night, you may stay her.
By'r lady, I think they cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it with any man that knows the statutes. Mary, not without the president be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
By'r lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night, and there be any matter of weight chances, call me up on the radio. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own, and good night. Come, Assistant Director.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us sit here upon this bench till 2, then all to bed.
One more word, honest neighbors. I pray you, keep watch about President Lanata's door, for there being a wedding there tomorrow. There's a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant. I beseech you.
What, Conrad?
Quick, hide yourselves.
Conrad, I say.
Hush, your man. I'm at my elbow.
Stand thee close, Conrad, under this umbrella. For it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee. Therefore, know I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldest rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
Know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the Lady Hero's dear friend, by the name of Hero. She leans me out at her friend's dorm window and bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the Prince Claudio and my master, planted, placed, and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was hero?
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret. And partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged, swore he would meet her as he was appointed the next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw her night, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the president's name, stand! Call up Director Dogberry. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that ever was known in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, masters.
Never speak. We charge you, let us obey you to go with us.
Hey guys, where's the party?
Shut up, Horatio. Come, officers, we'll obey you.
I stay out too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say.
Get it, hero?
That's what people say. But I can't cruel.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise,
I will, lady.
and bid her come hither.
Well,
No, pray be good, Meg. I'll wear this.
By my troth, it's not so good. I'm worried your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear this, and oh, God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceedingly heavy.
We'll ask Beatrice. Here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I'm out of all other tunes, methinks. But 'tis nearly 5 o'clock. 'Tis time you are ready. By my troth, I am exceedingly ill.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all, H.
God sent everyone their heart's desires.
These flowers the Count sent me, they're an excellent perfume.
By my troth, I am stuffed. I cannot smell. I am exceedingly ill.
Get you some of this new medicine, Cardus Benedictus, and lay it on your heart, for it's the only thing for a qualm.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus.
Moral? No. By my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle, for Cardus means thistle, and Benedictus means holy. Oh, you may think perchance that I think you're in love. Nay, byre lady, I'm not such a fool to think that. Indeed, I cannot think, if I were to think my heart out of thinking, that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet, Benedict was such another, and now he has become a man. He swore that he would never marry, and yet now, in spite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. How you may be converted, I know not, but methinks that you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallows.
hero, withdraw! The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gals of the canvas will be here to fetch you at the chapel any minute now.
Oh, help to finish dressing me. Good cuss, good Meg, good Ursula.
Director Dogberry, Assistant Director Burgess. What would you with me, honest neighbors?
Mary, ma'am, I would have some confidence that discerns you nearly.
What is it, my good friends? Be brief, for you see, it is a busy time with me.
Mary, this it is.
Yes, this it is, ma'am.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Burgess, ma'am, speaks a little off the matter. an old woman, ma'am, and her wits are not as blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but in faith, as honest as the skin between her brows.
Yes, I thank God I'm as honest as any man living. That is an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, neighbor Burgess.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are merely your presidentship's officers. But truly, from mine own heart, if I were as tedious as a president, I could find it in my heart to bestow all upon your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, eh?
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis, for I hear a good exclamation on your worship, as of any man on campus.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Mary, ma'am, our watch tonight have taken a couple of us as errant knaves as any in Messina.
An old woman, ma'am. She will be talking, as they say when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said in faith, neighbor Burgess, but when two men ride a horse, one must ride behind. An honest soul in faith, ma'am, but God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One more word, ma'am. Our watch have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourselves, and bring it to me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffigance.
Sister, they wait for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner, go! Get you to Mrs. Sexton. Bid her bring her pen and inkhorn to the campus safety office. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit. I warrant you. Only get the learned writer to set down an excommunication and meet me at the office.
Come, Friar Francis, only to the plain forms of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to be married to this lady?
No.
To be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any count?
I dare make his answer none.
What men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now? Interjections? Why, some be of laughing.
Stand thee by, friar. Mother, by your leave, will you, with free and unconstrained soul, give me this maid. Your daughter?
As freely son as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back? Whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonata, take her back again. Give not this writing order to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes now this blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were made by these exterior shows? But she is none. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
My lord, what do you mean?
Not to be married. Not to knit my soul to an approved wanton. I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as pure Diana in her orb, as chaste as is the body to be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than unfaithful Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he thus speaks so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored to go about so like a dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Ma'am, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True, oh God.
Leonata, let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that motherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh God, defend me, how am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Mary, that can Hero! Hero itself can let out Hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight out at your window, betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then you are no maiden. Leonata, I'm sorry you must hear, but upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did hear her at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath, like a most liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they're not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There's not chastity enough in this language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I'm sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, Hero! What a hero hast thou been, if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But farewell, most foul, most fair, farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I lock up all the gates of love, and upon my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it more be gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
How now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
I'll be gone. Leave us.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Hero, sweet Hero. Help, aunt! Senor Benedict Friar!
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, sweet Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Can she here deny the story that is written in her blood? Do not live, Hero. Do not ope thy eyes. Oh, grieved I had but one child. Should I that at frugal nature's frame? Oh, one too much by thee. Why had I one? Why she has fallen into a pit of ink, that the deep sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt a little which may season give to her tainted flesh.
Ma'am, be patient. I am so attired in wonder I know not what to say.
Upon my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, shared you a room with her last night?
Truly no. But I have this whole 12 months been her roommates. Could
confirmed, which is made stronger, which was before bared up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie, and Claudio lie who loved her so that, speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die!
Hear me a little. By noting of this lady I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions, star in her face 1,000 innocent shames. Angel's whiteness beat away those blushes, and in her eye hath appeared a fire, that the princess burn against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading nor my observation, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here. Lady, what meanest you are accused of?
They know that to accuse me, I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant. Oh, my mother, prove you that any man with me conversed hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained a change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There's some strange misunderstanding in the princes.
Two of them have the very bent of honor. If their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lies in Don John, whose spirits toil in frames of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. But if they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it from me.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the princess left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain mournful ostentation on her family's old tomb, and mournful epitaphs that do all rites that appertain into a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
She dying, as it must so be maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of ever here, for so it falls out. For what we have we prize not to the worth, well as we enjoy it. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into the study of his imagination. Then shall he mourn. If ever love had interest in his liver, then he will wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true.
Leonata, let the friar advise you. Although you know my inwardness and love is very much upon the prince and Claudio, yet, by mine honor, I shall deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for two strange shores, strange that they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, Signor, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no need. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much the man might deserve of me that would right her.
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as easy for me to say that I loved nothing so well as you, but believe me not. And yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny anything. I am in sorrow for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and make him eat it that say I love you not.
Will you not eat your words?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest, I love thee.
Oh, thank God, forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour, for I was about to protest that I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much in my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
What? Not for the whole wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Terry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone. Though I am here, there is no love in you.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You sooner be friends with me than fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the heights of villain that slandered, scored, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh God, that I were a man! What? Take her in hands until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncover slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Beatrice.
Talk with a man out the window. Proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Oh, sweet hero. She is wronged. She is slandered. She is undone.
Beatrice.
The sweet and gallant Count. Oh, that I were a man for his sake. Or that I had any friend to be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into compliment, and valor into courtesy, and men are man in name only. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I shall die a woman with grieving.
Terry, sweet Beatrice, by this hand, I love thee.
Use it for some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Surely as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge Claudio. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin, although I must say she is dead. And so, farewell.
Is our whole assembly appeared?
Which be the criminals?
Mary, that's him I and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before us.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. Ho there, bring in the villains. What is your name, friend?
Baraccio.
Pray, write down Baraccio. And yours, Sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Ooh, write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir.
We hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God, and write God first, for God defend. But God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already you are little better than false knaves, and it will go so near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
Oh, a marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come hither, you, Sirrah. A word in your ear, I say to you. It is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Oh, stand aside. For God, they are in a tale. Have you writ down that they are none?
Director, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch and their accusers.
Mary, that's the fastest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you, in the president's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down, Don John villain. Why? This is flat perjury to call the prince's brother a villain.
Master Director.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat's burglary was ever committed.
Yea, by mass that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Thou villain! Thou will be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Don John is this morning secretly stolen away from campus. Hero is in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon this grief suddenly died. Director, bring these men back to Leonato's. I will go before and show her their examination.
Come, let them be opinion.
Let them be in the hands of Coxcomb.
Oh, God's my life. Where's Mrs. Sexton? Have her write down Assistant Director Coxcomb. Bring them, thou naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass. You are an ass.
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that she were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it not be written down, forget not. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, a pretty piece of flesh as of any in Messina. And one that knows the law, go to, and a rich fellow enough, go to, and one that hath had losses, and one that hath had 2 gowns, and everything handsome about her. Bring them away. That I have been put down an ass.
Kill yourself. 'Tis not wisdom, thus the second grief against yourself.
I pray thee, cease thy counsel, which falls into my ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such as one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a mother who so loved her child, whose joy in her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid her speak of patience. But there is no such person. For sister, men can counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not feel, but tasting it, their counsel turns into passionate sorrow. Therefore, give me no counsel. My grief cries louder than advertisement.
Therein men do children nothing differ.
Priests, I pray you, I will be flesh and blood. For there is never a philosopher who can do the toothache patiently.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me here was belied. And that shall Claudio know. And so shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good den, good den.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my
We
lord.
have some haste, Leonata.
Some haste, my lord? Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old woman.
If she could right herself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs her?
Mary, thou wrong me, thou dissembler, thou. Nay, never raise thy fist against me. I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my hand, if it should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing.
Tush, tush, man. Never fleer nor jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool. Is it the privilege of age to brag what I've done being young, or what I would do were I not old? No, Claudio, to thy head, thou hast so wronged my innocent child and me, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days, to challenge thee to a trial of a man. I say thou hast belied my innocent child. Thy slander has gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept. Save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine.
You speak not right, old woman.
Oh, Lord, my lord, I'll prove it on his body if you dare.
Away, I will not have to do with you.
Can thou so daft me? Thou hast killed my daughter. If thou killst me, boy, thou shalt kill a woman.
And he shall kill 2 of us, and women indeed. That's no.
Matter? Let him kill one first. Win me and wear me. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir boy. Come, follow me. Sir boy, I'll whip you. Nay, as I am a lady, I will.
Sister.
Content yourself. God knows I love my niece. But now she's dead, slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a woman indeed, as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milk.
Sister Antonia.
Come, 'tis no matter. Do not you meddle. Let me deal in this.
Gentlewomen both, we will not awake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but upon mine honor, she was charged with nothing but was true and very full of proof. We will not hear you.
No. Come, sister, away. I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, Signor, what's news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, Signor. You are almost come to part, almost afraid.
We had like to have had our 2 noses snapped off by 2 old women without teeth.
Leonata and her sister. What thinkest thou? I doubt if we had fought them, we would have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valors. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It's in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wit.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What? Courage, man! What thou care kill the cat? Thou hast metal enough in thee to kill care.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will fight you how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady, and her death shall fall heavy upon you. Let me hear from you.
Benedict, leave off this dreariness. I will tell you how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said thou hast a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. No, said I, a great wit. Right, said she, a great gross one. No, said I, a good wit. Thus, an hour together, shaping thy particular virtues, and yet, she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily, and said, she cared not.
Yea, that she did. And if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yea, in the text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Moo!
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which, God be thanked, hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother has fled from Messina, and you have killed a sweet lady. For my lord, Blackbeard there, him and I shall meet. Till then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I'll warrant you, for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
Oh, what a pretty thing a man is when he goes in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit. But did he not say my brother has fled?
If justice cannot tame you, she shall never weigh more reasons in her balance. No, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now? 2 of my brother's friends bound? Baraccio 1? Officers, what have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruth. Secondarily, they are slanders. 6th and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things, and to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what their offense. 6th and lastly, what lay you to your charge? And to conclude, why they are tied up. Masters, who have you offended that you are thus bound to your answer? The learned director's too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. I have deceived even your very eyes, which your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady hero, how you saw me court Margaret in hero's clothing, how you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon my and my master's false accusation, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Dost this speech run like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he's uttered it.
But did my brother set thee on to this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He has composed and framed a treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero! Now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time, our sexton hath reformed President Lanata of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Here comes President Leonata.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes. When I know another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath has killed my innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third has fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death, recorded with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet to satisfy this good old woman, I would bend under any heavy weight she'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, inform the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb, and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning, come you to my house. And since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My sister hath a daughter, almost a copy of my daughter that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so does my revenge.
O noble lady, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer.
Tomorrow then I'll expect you. Tonight I shall take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought for Margaret, who I believe was packed into all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke with me, but hath always been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Hey, turn me around. Turn me around right now. Turn me around, please. Hey, what about me? I had nothing to do with Hero's death. Aren't you gonna let me go already?
Moreover, ma'am, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in her punishment.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth. I praise God for you.
Go. I discharge thee of thy prisoners, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. And if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, Assistant Director.
Until tomorrow morning, lords. Farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'll mourn with Hero.
Come, sister. Bring you these fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret. Her acquaintance grew with such lewd fellows.
Hey, where are you taking me now?
Oh. Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve me well by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man shall ever come over it. For, in most comely truth, thou deserve it.
To have no man ever come? Why, shall I just keep below the stairs and catch no man?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth. It catches.
And yours is as blunt as the fencer's spoils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret. It will not hurt a woman. And now I pray thee, fetch Beatrice.
I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore shall come. The God of love, who sits above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. Oh, not one of the famous lovers of old, not Leander the good swimmer, not Troilus the first implorer of panders, was so ever turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I've tried. I can find no rhyme for lady but baby, an innocent rhyme. For horn, scorn, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Oh, very ominous endings. I was not born under a rhyming planet. I cannot woo in festival terms. Lady Beatrice, thou come when I call thee?
Yea, senor, and depart when thou bidst me.
Oh, but stay till then.
Then is spoken. Fare thee well. And yet, ere I go, let me go with what I came, which is knowing what has passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I shall kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is foul smelling. Therefore I shall depart unkissed.
Thou hast frightened the word right out of his sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and I either must hear for him or subscribe him a coward. But now tell me, for which one of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that no good parts can intermingle with them. But I pray you, for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love? A good epithet. I do suffer love, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart? Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, then I shall spite it for yours. For I cannot love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. But now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how are you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me and mend. And I must leave you too, for here comes one in haste.
Madame, you must come to your aunt. It is proven my lady hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you come hear the news, senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes. And moreover, go with thee to thy aunt's.
for hero. Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death in guerdon of her wrongs gives her fame, which never dies. So the life that dies in shame lives in death with glorious fame.
Pardon, goddess of the night, those that slew thy virgin night, for the which with songs of woe round about her tomb they go. Midnight the sistar moan, help us to sigh and groan, while hero sighs no more. Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. One foot in sea and one on shore. To one thing constant never. Sigh not so, and let them go. And they abide in bonny, and voicing all your songs of woe into a naughty, naughty. Sing no more ditties, sing no more, but I'm so dull and heavy. The fraud of man was ever so, since I'm first was levied. Sigh not so, and let them go, and they abide in bonny, versing all your songs of woe into a naughty, naughty.
Now, unto thy bones good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Hero.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
Yes, and so are the Prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault in all this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all questions.
Well, I'm glad all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else enforced to call young Claudio for a reckoning to it.
Well, daughter, and you ladies all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I call for you, come hither mass. The Prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, sister. You must be the mother to your sister's daughter, and give her to young Claudio.
Which I shall do with serious confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, senor?
To bind me, or undo me, one of them. Truth it is, Leonata, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
The sight whereof I think she had from my daughter, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio, and the prince, but what's your will?
Your answer, ma'am, is enigmatical, but my will be your good will may be conjoined this day. Beatrice and I, in the honorable state of marriage, in which, friar, I shall need your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the Prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry my sister's daughter?
Indeed, ma'am. I'll hold my mind.
Call her forth, sister. Here's the fire ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, such a February face, so full of frost, of storm and cloudiness.
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Moo! Tush, fear not, man, for we'll tip thy horns with gold. But hush, here comes other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same as she, and I do give you her.
Why then, she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not, until you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero?
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live, and surely as I live, I am a faithful maid.
The former hero, the hero that is dead?
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement cannot qualify. When after the holy rites are ended, I will tell you largely of fair hero's death.
Soft and fair friar, which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
What?
Then your aunt, the Prince and Claudio, have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do you not love me?
Troth. No. No more than reason.
No.
Why then my cousin, Margaret and Ursula, were much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me?
No, but only in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sign of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, written my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
It's a miracle. Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
By this good day, I would not deny you, although I take you under great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace. I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man? Moo!
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of wit crackers could not flout me out of my humor. In brief, since I do propose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it, and therefore do not flout at me what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thine part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised and love my cousin.
I had well hoped thou wouldst have denied, Beatrice, that I might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life.
Come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, that we might lighten our hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterwards.
First, therefore, play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife.
My Lord President! My Lord President! Looky what road we have taken in flight and brought with armed men back to Messina. The prince's roguish brother, Don John!
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. For now, we dance. Strike up, pipers.
Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. And have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. A dedication to last throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter. We gon' celebrate and party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Yeah, yeah. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you.